Wow, where to start? I mean, it's just every day I get frustrated because there's so much news I want to cover. We're going to attempt to get to all of it. Guess who earned PolitiFact's top lie of 2013? And I agree this is probably the biggest lie of 2013. No, not the lie of saying you can keep your health care plan and your prices won't go up, but then saying he never said it. And then saying, no, I meant if you don't want to keep your doctor, or if you do want to keep your doctor, or you're, after the bill goes into place and is law, then you'll lose your doctor, is what I meant. But until then, you won't lose your doctor. I mean, he said so many different things, and they basically over at PolitiFact say that it is one of the biggest lies they've ever seen, calling it pants on fire level. So there you go. And Oprah Winfrey says, because I don't like being lied to, that I am a racist. That's why people don't like Obama, is because they are racist, period. I think Hitler or Stalin or Mao should have tried that, but I guess they weren't as politically correct, even in those authoritarian countries, as we are. It just makes being under oppression so fashionable, so cool when Obama bombs a country, so cool when he has the NSA spying on his political enemies or persecuting the press. And again, Obama himself is just a globalist manufactured frontman, but still, under Obama, they've gotten away with more than any other American president we've ever seen. And I can think of a few cases in history where the out-of-control behavior has gotten this bizarro. So that's just some of what's coming up today. The big news is obviously Chinese naval vessel tries to force U.S. warship to stop in international waters. That story's up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. It's red-linked on the right-hand side of DrudgeReport.com. There's another report out. The bogus Mandela singer faced a murder rap in 2003 and has other reported crimes and attempted crimes and charges in his background. I could take one look at that guy in the television interviews that they've been airing, and he's obviously completely out of his mind. And the bigger question is then, how did he get up there on the stage? And I know that's a distractionary story. It's not even that important, but it's still just the marvel of how the government can't even get itself together. But they have this projection with the jet airplanes and the red carpets and the Marines snapping to attention and the clicking, flashing cameras, that they are just invincible, above the law, godlike creatures, and all of us are simply mere mortals, while the rich and powerful live up in their ivory towers, more and more extracting wealth through government combines, not via the free market. Spain's public debt hits a record 93.4% of GDP, just like ours is going in that direction. That's mission complete for the New World Order. UN confirms chemical arms were used repeatedly in Syria. And the way this was phrased on the news last night in talk radio and TV was it proved Assad did it. But they go on to admit that they don't know who did it. Well, actually, we do know who did it, and we're going to break that down. And Cy Hirsch knows who did it as well. And it was the al-Qaeda forces who've been given part of Western Iraq by our loving occupied government, the criminals that run our government. It's all coming up on the other side of this quick break. Stay with us. I'm Alex Jones.
Now you can watch the InfoWars Nightly News streaming live as it happens for free.
Check it out at Infowars.com/show.
Anarchic capitalist and very interesting analyst Stefan Molyneux will be joining us from the Great White North, Canada, via video Skype. And, of course, Max Kaiser, the stockbroker, economist, analyst. We'll talk about the big rumbles that's got mainline economists saying that they've now entered a false reality. Every market valuation has lost every anchor to the real world. That's Reagan advisor Kaiser's going to be joining us. Coming up in the second hour, Stefan Molyneux, third hour, and I'm going to take calls for each half hour with them for your questions and comments. I really love the questions and comments that folks bring up, so we'll be opening the phones up when they're on with us. Where to start? Here's some of the headlines up on Infowars.com. Democrat debt victory and the decline of the Tea Party Republicans. You know, I don't know if I agree with Nemo on that, but it's certainly up for debate. You can go in there and comment and give us your take. That just went up seconds ago. 0 comments on that top story there. But it's definitely the decline of the rhino fake Tea Party Democrats run by people like Karl Rove. If you actually look at it through Campaign for Liberty and Ron Paul and Rand Paul and Ted Cruz, their popularity is more than ever. And people are running at city, state, county, federal races and winning, and actually shooting down the Syria expansion of the war. Shooting down so many of the initiatives, gun control, restricting our Second Amendment. I mean, from that perspective, I see what Kurt's saying. But, again, I don't agree completely with all my writers. We have some diversity of freedom-based thought. But I do see his point that it's the decline of mainline fake Tea Party people. But it is pretty disgusting. Paul Ryan promenades with Democrats as debt heads to the stratosphere. And look at what's happening. Now they have this House budget deal for cuts that both parties dislike. Yeah, but they already increased spending 60-something billion, and then they cut that. So it's like they increase it, and then they cut it. Like if I, caught one of my kids in the Fig Newtons or something, and they said, and I caught them eating like 10 Fig Newtons before dinner, and they had 10 of them in their hands, and I said, you can't have any of those Fig Newtons till after dinner, and then they go, only 5. That's exactly the type of stuff that we're dealing with here, and here's a headline out of Breitbart. Spain's public debt hits record at 93.4% of GDP, and that's current obligations, not counting all the future obligations. It's more like 200+% of their GDP. That's not sustainable in any universe, and that's where we're being maneuvered by these big offshore mega banks that run the New World Order. They want us bankrupted. That's their plan. So we're going to be breaking that down. Budget passed by House eases cuts both parties dislike. And that is a accurate headline from Drudge. And that's a Bloomberg story. Because the truth is, ladies and gentlemen, they're not even talking about the QE unlimited by the Federal Reserve that's devaluing all of our dollars. That's why the stock market's so high, even though it's been down this week a little bit, is because they're chasing the stocks with devalued dollars, and there's nowhere else to invest because you don't even get interest now at the bank on average. In fact, banks are talking about, we've already done this in areas of Europe, making you pay to have money in there. That's called Weimar Republic type indicators. Oh, but a congresswoman is complaining, saying it's harder to recruit federal workers if they don't keep increasing their pay and if they don't keep expanding basically the federal budget. And then when they wreck the society, their answer will be even more collectivism, more taxes, more control over the middle class. And by the way, Rahm Emanuel's brother, the doctor, Ezekiel Emanuel, who helped write the Obamacare monstrosity, admits on Fox Sunday, months ago, that the plans to get rid of the market where you can go out and get your own insurance and basically bring it into a socialist model with the big insurance companies on top getting the profits. So they socialize all of our lives and socialize the debt, so we all have to pay it, but then privatize the profits offshore. And so we knew they were bringing in death panels, and now they admit it. We knew they were planning to bankrupt the healthcare system. Further, that's a classic socialist communist tactic. And I want to explain something here. We've got the LA Times here doing a profile. For new listeners, we're not saying this is a communist conspiracy we face or a socialist conspiracy. It is a collectivist, anti-liberty system for the general public with a tiny technocratic elite, less than 0.1%, less than 6,000 top globalists in the superclass that the head of the Kissinger group, Rothkopf, talks about, and I agree with his analysis. He's pushing it as a good thing. These people are largely exempt, just like Congress is, just like the EU bureaucrats are, just like the French government are, from the high taxes. The 100% taxes on the middle class and the nouveau riche, new wealthy in France is designed to destroy them as a class while transferring their wealth to the people that call themselves socialists, who are really a bunch of knuckle-dragging, bank-robbing thugs who all have Swiss bank accounts on record for 1 year not paying the taxes, and the head of the IMF is exempt from the EU-wide taxes that she wants to be raised. These are parasite criminals, period. They are our enemies, and they're never going to stop. And they're going to use the deindustrialization and the so-called service economy they're now shutting down. Oh, first it's going to be a service economy. Told you they were going to get rid of that. They've done this in other countries to have you under full control. So they dominate the future. So they control the future. So they run our lives. They are eugenicist, transhumanist, delusional, power-tripping criminals who take our money and energy and ideas and get to play God, and their reign of control freak garbage needs to come to an end now. They are not going to give us quarter. They are not going to back off. They're not going to stop. They are mentally ill, psychopathic control freaks. Let me just do this. I kind of went off onto a rampage about that. I mean, I use this example. I'll use it again. Warren Buffett's the biggest recipient of the first round of banker bailout. 40-something billion for Berkshire Hathaway in the first year of it. Of course he's lobbying to raise taxes, ladies and gentlemen, because he basically has had the laws written where his offshore subsidiaries are tax exempt. Now, if you can't figure that out, he's always on TV eating an ice cream cone. Always eating an ice cream cone because it's a non-threatening thing. Just like somebody pulls up to kidnap your kids out of the backyard, they go, I got an ice cream cone, I got a puppy. Evil doesn't come dressed like Adolf Hitler very often, folks, in a military uniform, screaming and yelling. Evil comes all simpering and, oh, we're here to help you. Do what we say or Oprah Winfrey will call you a racist. Now is the time to face the reality. We have been boarded by pirates using high-tech PR systems, and they're backed up by a paramilitary takeover system if we try to get out of line. Well, the answer is to have a full break with them and a full wake-up to them. And then there's nothing they can do to stop us if we start withdrawing from their system, only voting with our dollars with people and groups that promote liberty, and literally focusing on them as the enemy and as the problem with absolute total hatred. Because they hate us, folks. Now, again, we fight them because we love our family. But when we see them, there needs to be revulsion. There needs to be an absolute, there's Jeffrey Dahmer. There's Hitler, there's Stalin, there's Mao. These people are our enemies, our declared enemies. They are robbing us and destroying our republic. And the only thing that's going to beat them is absolute revulsion and shunning, as they deploy armored vehicles and drones against us and criminally spy on us and hire huge armies of control freak miscreants, psychologically tested, showing that they're cowards and want to dominate others. They are building an army worthy of Mordor against us, and we must rally against them. I mean, that's why I get so excited, folks, because I look at this stuff every day, at night, in the morning, in the afternoon. I'm living this stuff 16, 17, 18 hours a day. I know how real it is. All right, let me just give you some of the headlines, because I keep saying I'm going to get to that. Guess who earned PolitiFact's top lie 2013? Obama. We're going to tell you about that. Chinese naval vessels try to force U.S. warships to stop international waters, trying to ram the ship. Folks, this is real, what's happening in China. And all our insiders have told you for years, watch China, it's the big one. Unbelievable. Belgium Senate approves measure allowing doctors to euthanize children. Isn't that just precious? They decide when to terminate them. It's socialist. That's how you save money. You can pay the government pensions if you kill some kids. Remember Bill Gates said, we don't give grandma care. We hire 10 teachers, and the teachers got real excited. Hey, teachers, you really think somebody like that's going to give you a bigger pension? They've already domesticated us. They're going to be taking the pensions now, Cupcake. Just get ready. Let's go to the next one. NSA leaders split on giving amnesty to Snowden. Folks, unless Snowden's a double agent, he can never come back, okay? Let's just get that straight. Also, sky's the limit. New towers for the rich soar in New York And if you look at these groups as a group, they're people with government contracts or insiders in the stock market and the rigged system, who, by the way, are lobbying for higher taxes and gun control, but then they own guns themselves, like the head of the White House run Media Matters. But just like Dianne Feinstein. They have guns and bodyguards because they know what they've done. You don't. You don't. They're going to get your guns. Of course they want your guns. Look at Goldman Sachs with all their armed guards in New York. They're going to have guns while they reach into your back pocket. Hands up. They got the guns. They're going to get yours. They're going to take that Bible away from you, too, you bitter clingers. All over the country, they're pulling down crosses. They're even pulling them off private property, saying people are offended. Pulling them out of the... But you know what? We're going to teach your 5-year-old how to have anal sex. And if you don't like it, you're a terrorist. By the way, is that a brown bag you got at work? That's racist. You're fired. But if you want to call for sterilization of black people in Africa, that's okay. The InfoWars crew absolutely loves coffee because we love being awake. And I am somewhat of a connoisseur of coffee. So many times you go to a restaurant or even to a coffee shop and the coffee tastes like garbage. And in all the different coffees I've tried, my favorite is grown in the high mountains, in shade, Arabica, on the border with Guatemala in southern Mexico by the Chiapas farmers. I make sure we've done the research. I make sure it's the very best product that we can offer you when I put my name on it. And I believe, and it's my taste, so you may differ, that this is the best coffee in the world from southern Mexico. Wake Up America Patriot Blend, 100% organic, Arabica shade grown. And then we have the Immune Support, 100% organic coffee, infused with a special type of mushroom known to boost the immunity.
This coffee is seriously so smooth. I normally have to douse my coffee with cream and sugar and cinnamon and all kinds of tasty treats, but this, I drink this black. It is so good.
Well, that's why I like it, is that it has a kick, it has really good caffeine in it, it has a good clean wake up that lasts for a long time, doesn't give me a headache, but it's so smooth, it's so delicious. Just try it out for yourself. I'm telling you, this is my favorite coffee. We went through a lot of trouble to bring you this. Just try it, and I think you'll be hooked like we are here at InfoWars. Well, folks, find out for yourself and support the information war today. It's all available at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. So I mentioned this. Let me give you the facts now. Guess who earned PolitiFact's top lie of 2013? PolitiFact's being racist, Oprah said. Each year, PolitiFact chooses the most egregious and misleading lie made by a U.S. political figure, with the top 4 all involving Obamacare. It may surprise you who won the top spot. Oh, no, I'm not surprised at all. If you like your health care, you can keep your health care. Remember that quote President Obama repeated numerous times? Yeah, in the State of the Union as well. While that was bad enough, it was far worse when he modified the lie, inserting a disclaimer, according to CNN. First, he said he'd never said it. Then they played it. Then he said, well, what I meant was, well, he said was you could keep it if it hasn't changed since the law passed. Said Obama. And PolitiFact gave that the pants on fire. And we played this already a bunch. We're not going to play it again. Oprah told the BBC about 3 weeks ago that people are criticizing the Lord, the dear leader, Adolf Hitler, Barack Obama, Kim Jong-un, himself, the dear leader, the one who makes the birds tweet, the one that makes the businesses run. If you have a business, you didn't build it. The dear leader that doubled and tripled your premiums and kicked you off your doctor plan and built the giant system so it would be a fraud and wouldn't work, so they could claim it was a screw job because it didn't work, not because they screwed you. See, it's an accident. I told you that was coming. I know how these criminals operate. And now they admit it. They go, it's good it doesn't work. We're going to ruin the whole system and go to pure commie care. See, they even admit it because they're criminals and they love to rub your nose in it. And they're going to keep doing it because they know you love it. So again, Obama is a victim of racism, she said, and they just have to die. Remember that video? They just have to die. In fact, I'm going to apologize in a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to Oprah. I'm not mad at Obama because he wants to take my guns, or because he's offshoring our jobs, or because he's totally selling us out with the Republican leadership and deindustrializing the nation. I'm not mad at him that he wants to federalize all the schools and has MSNBC openly say that my children belong to the state. I'm not mad that it's ripping people off and shutting down the economy and wrecking healthcare in this country, even worse with Obamacare by design. I'm not mad at all that. I'm mad because, folks, it is because he has light brown skin. It very upsets me. And it's deep racism, and I need to be killed. I want to invite Oprah Winfrey to come to Austin, Texas, and we'll build a guillotine for her, and she can pull the lever and chop my head off, because I disagree with him, and I think I don't like him. And she is a goddess, and when she speaks as a fountain of wisdom, it's true. And so she spoke ex cathedra from her throne, and so that means it is written, it is done. And so all of us who don't like anything Obama does need to die. Of course, I'm being sarcastic, Oprah, but I actually don't want to die. I actually want your horrible political ideas to die, because we know, Oprah, it's been leaked in the London Guardian and the Sunday Times of London, and the ABC News wrote a whitewash on it, that you meet at the secret eugenics meetings to push a alternate world government plan to forcibly reduce world population. And we know what you push on depopulation in Africa. And so that's why you call everyone a racist all day. The truth is, you as a multi-billionaire are led into the elite halls at elite meetings with 10 or 12 people at them, way above Bilderberg, because you are such a traitor to humanity and such a traitor to black people. And you are a pig and a disgusting, fat, demonic worm. And I don't mean that because sometimes you balloon up and balloon down like a self-propelled stomach. All of us have weight problems, at least sometimes. Most of us do. I mean, you're spiritually an obese demon. I mean, your sins are bloated and oozing with the crimes you've committed and against humanity, and the division you've sowed, and the con games, giving women free cars, knowing it'll make all the other welfare-type folks and lottery ticket-type people tune in, believing they're going to get some type of free deal, manipulating your audience in a cold-blooded, calculated, anti-human, collectivist way.
And that's just what they'll do.
Oprah Winfrey, your ideas and people that think like you
Walk all over you.
are a scourge on this planet, but I don't hope you die. I hope you reprove yourself and repent before you're dropped headlong into the pit of Hades, into the frozen ninth circle of hell, to kneel before your God, David Rockefeller. We'll be back with the news and your calls.
Hello, this is Hank Hill, and I'm telling you what, you need to listen to Alex Jones.
Yeah. Infowars.com.
My judge, what is the secret of the universe?
Infowars.com.